Alright, I hope all of you are doing good. I hope everything is going good on your side. I hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you so much for joining. And there's a big game today. EPL. I'll start with Brentford versus West Ham. That is the game that we are streaming today. And then there is West Ham. There is Newcastle. They have to win this against Brighton, who won against Chelsea. Oh my goodness, that game between Chelsea and Brighton. It was. Whew, I don't I don't know what to say. I was mad, but Brighton did really good. They won that game, but there's also Newcastle, which they have to win today. They lost against Arsenal 1-0, and they haven't been doing really good. So they have to win this. Out of 5, no win for Newcastle. So this is a must win for them because they have been losing. And then there's another game, Wolves, which we all know that they already got relegated, versus Sunderland. And then later there's a big game, Arsenal versus Fulham. I know. In that game, I'm a Fulham fan. I'm going to support Fulham. But let's talk about West Ham versus Brentford. It's going to be a good game. So Brentford versus West Ham is pretty crucial match, especially considering where both teams are in the league table right now. It looks like the game could have, it's going to have significant impact on their stand, because Brentford, they need to qualify for Europa, which they have 48, and Bournemouth, they have actually I believe that's conference 49. So if they win, they will have 50, which it will push them all the way to number 6, whereby they look really good qualifying for Euro. So they have to win this. And also West Ham, they have to win this too, because they are not doing really good. They're doing good. They're out of relegation, threat and stuff like that. Whereby if they win today, they will have around 38, 39. So it's going to be a really, really, really good match to watch between Brentford versus West Ham. So the game has already started. So my prediction, if I go to Poly, let me try to look who has a high chance of winning in this game. Just a minute. I was watching the fight between Inoue Nakatani versus Inoue versus Nakatani, whereby Inoue just won the fight. I was going for Nakatani to win that fight, but as you can see, Brentford, they have 53% of winning the fight. Not the fight, but to win this game. West Ham, they have 25 and 25 draw. So personally, my opinion, I'm going to go with West Ham. I love Nuno Espirito. I hope he's going to remain in Premier League. West Ham, as much as they don't like Chelsea, I have to support. And if Brentford win, they will go above Chelsea. So I have to support West Ham. Let's go West Ham. You guys have to win this one.
This competition to take this throw. Throws it back to his captain, Nathan Collins. He's just inside his own half.
takes a couple of touches before looking up and moves it across to the right-hand side where the Dutchman Van den Berg moves out into the West Ham half, plays it to his right to Coyote. Coyote tries to get forward, Somerville just drops back in, plays it off Coyote and gets the goal kick, much to the disappointment of Michael Coyote. He was quite leisurely following that ball, believing he was going to get the corner awarded, but it's a goal kick to West Ham. Somerville doing the defensive part of his job pretty quickly and efficiently there. Somerville, of course, such a key man for West Ham in this one. 5 goals, 1 assist this season, and his form after Christmas has been another big reason why West Ham have given themselves maximum opportunity to stay in the Premier League next season. Jared Bowen just puts Collins under a little bit of pressure there. Bowen, of course, also absolutely vital to the Hammers' survival. 8 goals, 10 assists himself so far this campaign. Van den Berg looks to play forward. Thiago makes a clever little run in behind, tries to lay it back to Atara, but Somerville's in there again. Coyote picks it up, plays it back to Van den Berg, who takes a touch with the outside of his right foot, assesses his options, plays short to Yarmuluk. Yarmuluk slightly on his heels there, gets away with it. Played in again by Van den Berg. Nice little layoff by Damsgaard. Atara gets in and around the ball, and Matthias Fernandes puts it out for a throw into Brentford. Taken by Coyote. Coyote known for his long throws. Takes that one short, gives it back to Van den Berg, and quickly over to Matthias Jensen in midfield. He plays it back across to Van den Berg. He's very comfortable on the ball, Sepp Van den Berg, and shows that as he plays a nice ball out to the outside, and Atara. Diouf gets his first challenge in on Atara and puts that out for another Brentford throw. Diouf also vital to the cause for West Ham in an attacking sense. 5 assists, the most assists of all the fullbacks in the Premier League this season so far. Loves to get forward down the left when the opportunity arises, but at the moment West Ham are very much pinned in their own half, haven't really got out at all yet. Diouf gets it, takes a nice little touch inside Atara, moves forward down the line. Good little ball inside now to Fernandes, bit of space for the Portuguese, tries to play it forward, but Pablo on his heels, doesn't run in on the ball, applauds Fernandes, his fellow Portugal compatriot, but didn't really read the pass from the midfielder, and Van den Berg is able to bring it out of defence once again for Brentford. Comes up to the halfway line. Pablo puts him under a bit of pressure. Ball bounces off to Matthias Jensen. He gets it out to Atara. Touches past Diouf, but he's not going to be able to keep that one in play. Throw into West Ham down the left-hand side. And Dango Atara, the Burkina Faso international, came in for a club record fee of $36.8 million from Bournemouth back in the August window, and fantastic first season he's had really for Brentford, with the pressure of being there. By far record signing. He's got 5 goals, 3 assists himself in the Premier League, and fundamental to Keith Andrews and his successful first season as a head coach. 5.5 minutes gone here. Brentford 0, West Ham United 0. Diouf switches it out to the right hand side to Carl Walker-Peters, who takes a couple of touches into the Brentford half, slows it down, plays it back to the experienced Thomas Souček. Souček takes a touch himself and moves it out to the right hand side again, where Walker-Peters plays infield. Bowen, left-footed, thinks about going forwards, but gives it back to the full-back. And Brentford quite happy just to drop into their own half now, not pressing in particular, just allowing West Ham to have the ball for a few moments. The Sassy gets it out to the left of Diouf, takes a touch, plays it down the line to Somerville. Somerville, little flick on towards Pablo. Van den Berg's made a mistake. Pablo is in on goal here, but great cover again from Van den Berg to get back. And just as Pablo is about to pull the trigger, Van den Berg got the tackle in. That tackle then went towards the goal, and Kelleher got down smartly to his right. Never looked like it was truly going to creep in, but Van den Berg atoning from that terrible misjudgment of the ball moments before, and Pablo just didn't ever really look like he believed he was going to race away and trouble Kelleher himself. Took that moment's hesitation, and Van den Berg was able to get in and get the touch. Good bit of defending. But West Ham first foray into the Brentford penalty area, and that will give them a little bit of confidence. Mistake there at the back for Brentford and Van den Berg. Pablo just needed to be more lethal in that moment. Ouattara has it on the right-hand touchline for Brentford, plays it back to Van den Berg. You're seeing a lot of ball in the first few moments. He plays short to Yarmouk. Yarmouk keeps it moving forwards. Out to the right again to Ouattara, but that goes out for a throw-in right down by the corner flag for West Ham. Just seeing it again, Van den Berg completely misjudged the pace of the ball, ran across it almost, and Pablo ran towards goal. Took a good first touch, got himself into the penalty area. Second touch, third touch, lacked confidence, and it was the third touch that kept the ball quite close to the defender, and he and Van den Berg made contact at pretty much the same time. And Kelleher did well actually, because he was waiting to see what was going to happen, and he had to get down pretty smartly to make the save after all that. Kelleher also impressive in his first season at the club, coming in from Liverpool, of course, and started every single game in the Premier League for Brentford, and in his 34 appearances so far he's got 10 clean sheets, save percentage of 67.4%, so been a very good addition. Here comes Coyote with the first long throw of the game, puts that right into the 6-yard box, but easy enough in the end for Hermansen to come and collect. Quick throw out, looking to release Bowen on the right hand side, but that's well covered by Nathan Collins, and he just gives it back to Kelleher. And Brentford go long from the back. Oh, that long ball just hits Pablo, picked up in midfield by Matías Fernandez, moves it out to the right to Bowen. Bowen's got a chance to run to the penalty area here. Right footed, takes a shot, deflected, and then Kelleher just gets down by his left hand post to stop it going out for a corner. First real chance, Jarrod Bowen's had a chance to move in towards the penalty area there, and now Brentford come forward again. This game's suddenly opening up as we approach the 10th minute mark. Damsgaard has the ball, gets it out to the left, and Kevin Schade comes inside. Ouattara on his right foot, looks to come into the left of the area. Good defending by Walker Peters, just stood up, didn't fall for any of Ouattara's tricks, and just puts it out for a throw-in to Brentford on the far hand side. And we're going to see Coyote come all the way over from right back now. He's going to set this up for a longer throw. Be looking to get a better ball in than he did moments ago. So number 33, Coyote, has the ball in hand. West Ham's defence looking nervously on. Souček trying to get people where he wants them. It's in line with the 6-yard box, coming in from the left-hand side from Coyote. Up he steps, launches it in. Hermansen comes, gets nowhere near it. Souček heads it away. Ball falls to Schade on the left. Ouattara clips it in now. That's gone all the way through. Bowen just watches it go over his shoulder, and it goes out for a goal kick to West Ham. Hermansen dealt with the first long throw well, but that second time he was determined to come and get it again, got nowhere near it. Souček won the header and headed away. Straight away West Ham will feel like there's a slight chink in the... So Brentford will feel like there's a slight chink in the West Ham armour there, and will be looking to get more long throws in those situations. That one was a little bit better for them in the sense that it was able to come in from the side flat. The one previously came in from outside the penalty area and was just launched in towards the penalty area. Collins has given away a corner needlessly there for Brentford. Bit of lack of communication between him and his Irish teammate Kelleher, and Collins has just tapped that one out for the corner. So first set piece of the game for West Ham. Moving up to get the ball to Jarrod Bowen, and forward comes Disasi, Mavropanos, Souček's in there as well. Tati Castellanos, who hasn't touched the ball yet. He's standing in the near post area. Mavropanos slightly more penalty spot, players in front of him. Bowen is going to take this from the far hand side, left footed, right arm goes up in the air. Assistant just tells him to wait as the referee seeing a couple of things going on in the penalty area that he doesn't particularly like. It's Matthias Jensen who's doing his best to protect Kelleher on the goal line. In comes the corner to the near post, good punch away by Kelleher, headed on by Damsgaard, only as far as Fernandez at the edge of the box. He tries to chip it back in, but that goes out for a goal kick. Not the best delivery back into the box that time, but Matías Fernandes. His performance in recent weeks has started seeing him linked to bigger clubs across Europe, not just in the Premier League, Europe-wide as well. PSG's name being linked, Manchester City's name being linked to the Portuguese who came in from Southampton earlier this season, and I think he's pleasantly surprised quite a few people, certainly West Ham, with his performances alongside Thomas Souček in that midfield. Kelleher just plays to the right and sent Vandenberg. Vandenberg turns back away from Pablo, who's putting him under a little bit of pressure, moves it left now to Nathan Collins. Collins gives the ball to Jensen. Jensen moves across the midfield, gives it back out to the right again at Vandenberg. Brentford preferring to try and build up out through Vandenberg on the right rather than Nathan Collins on the left. Collins gets to go, plays it to Jensen once again. He goes out to Keane Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter, nice little ball inside to Atara. Atara gives it back to Jensen, who bustles across the centre circle and injects a bit of energy into the ball, giving it to Vandenberg. Vandenberg has it again. Coyote to his right, tries to play a clever one into Sade, but that doesn't work out. And good turn this time from Pablo. He gets away. Castellanos in front of him, but Pablo turns back, plays it to the right, and Carl Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters calms it down again for West Ham. They're not looking to rush forward, West Ham, it has to be said, in this first 15 minutes. If there is a chance to break quickly, they will take it, but unless they're guaranteed to be able to move forwards, they're slowing it down again. And I think that's playing into Brentford's hands a little bit, because Brentford are quick to get back in behind the ball and defend in that mid-block, which means West Ham then have got to rely on their creativity to get through. And West Ham aren't, for me, really a team that's built on creativity, with Souček in the middle of the park and Pablo playing just off the front man, not exactly a traditional number 10 type either, but West Ham would do with trying to inject a little bit more pace into a counter-attack when they do turn the ball over. Yarmouk sends it to the left to Nathan Collins. He plays it all the way out to wide left now, and Keane Lewis Potter comes in on his right foot, curls it into the box, goes over everyone, and it's a goal for Brentford, is it? Yes, it is. It's in. Igor Thiago, I think, has given them the lead. No, it's not. It's Atara who's come round the back to give Brentford a surprise lead here. Surprise in the sense that the goal has come from nothing. It didn't look like a particularly dangerous ball in from Keane Lewis Potter. West Ham's defence just froze. Atara makes his run from the wide side of the penalty area. Diouf was more concerned with marking Thiago. It's bounced all the way across. And in fact, it isn't Atara at all. It's Michael Coyote who snuck in to get the final touch. Came in completely on the blind side of Somerville. It came off the post, came off Hermansson's toe, and Coyote goes sliding in. I think he got the final touch ahead of Utara and the West Ham defender, but we're just waiting to see that confirmed as well. There seems to be a delay in getting this game restarted. Absolute confusion raining down here at the G-Tech. Not entirely clear to me who did get the final touch. There was a mass of players there. Coyote was the one sprinting off with Utara celebrating. Just waiting for the game to restart. Pawson is still waiting for VAR to clear it. West Ham fans looking on pretty sullen-faced. The ball is back on the centre circle. Pawson hasn't blown the whistle yet, but he has now, so the goal does stand, and it has been given to Michael Coyote. The Brentford right back has opened the scoring here. That is a massive goal at both ends of the table. Brentford looking to push up to the European places, and West Ham, of course, a win today would go so far to keeping them in the Premier League for next season. And conflicting reports here, one saying it's an own goal by Mavropanos, one saying that it is a goal allocated to Michael Coyote, so we'll let them sort that out. But at the moment, all we do know is Brentford lead West Ham by a goal to nil. As it stands, with Brighton being a goal down at Newcastle, it would mean that Brentford would go up to 6th at this moment in time if everything stays as it is. West Ham come forward down the right hand side now. Jarrod Bowen gets the cross into the box, the far post. Coyote jumps underneath it. And it was Castellanos, his first real touch of the ball, coming round the far side, who just heads up and over. Big switch from Diouf. A moment ago, Castellanos had a shot moments before this which clipped the post. West Ham has suddenly sprung into life since going a goal behind. So there is life in West Ham. They're certainly a team that are learning to fight harder in these Premier League fixtures in the back end of this season. Castellanos, first two involvements in the game, hits the post and then heads one over at the far post. He's got 4 Premier League goals already this season since joining the Argentine. How West Ham could do with one now. Souček switches it out to the left-hand side to Diouf. Sprints out to the touchline to keep the ball in play. Moves it across to Somerville. Somerville comes forward with number 7. Drifts in field. Gives it out wide left to Diouf. Diouf tries to cross first time, but that goes high up into the Brentford stands behind the goal. That's a goal kick to Brentford, which Kelleher will retrieve the ball and get us going. Again, Michael Coyote, if he does get given that goal, the Italian, that's his second Premier League goal of the season. But it could well still go down as an own goal to Mavropanos. On my commentary desk here, it's down as down on 2 of the apps that keep me up to date as a Mavropanos own goal, but it did flash up on my monitor as a goal for Michael Coyote, which is how it was announced in the stadium as well. So we shall see which way it does eventually fall. Fernandez, that's a sliding challenge that's come in from Damsgaard. Not the best challenge on Fernandez, but they both quickly get up and get on with it. Free kick given. Fernandez was just moving away, and Damsgaard stretching, sliding in, takes him down. Free kick to West Ham. Opportunity for them now to get the ball into the box. Fernandez stands there with Diouf. This is just to the left of the Brentford penalty area as West Ham attack. About 35 yards out. The ball's exactly on one of the cuts of the green stripes here on the G-Tech turf. Brentford holding their line on the penalty area. A couple of West Ham players starting off in offside positions. They will move back in as this ball comes in. I'm sure the 20-minute has just come up on the box. That's a great ball. It's an equaliser. Wonderful ball in by Diouf, and Mavropanos at the far post, completely unmarked, bullets his header past Kelleher, and West Ham, they weren't behind for long. Mavropanos has equalised 4 minutes after the goal was awarded for Brentford. The big Greek arrives unmarked at the far post. Superb ball in by Diouf, and Konstantinos Mavropanos has headed home his 4th Premier League goal of the season. And it looks like West Ham are level, but are they? There's a VAR check going on. Did Mavropanos go just a fraction too soon? His last Premier League goal before this one was 22 days ago against Wolves on the 10th of April. Has he got his 4th of the season, or is VAR going to change the celebrations of West Ham fans into disconsolate commiseration? It's flashing up on the G-Tech big screen here. Goal being checked, possible offside. Offside has been given. Craig Pawson gives it the rectangular sign and then puts his right arm up in the air. Mavropanos, it was such a good header. And it's been disallowed. Just seeing it on my screen now, how offside that was. And look, it certainly wasn't one of those ones that we might be moving to where there's got to be clear daylight. But actually looking at that line, his shoulder is ahead of the last man, and by the rules that is offside. As the rules as we have them is offside. So West Ham have to do it all again, but they've been brighter since Brentford took the lead in the 15th minute. 22 minutes gone here. Brentford still lead West Ham by a goal to nil, but West Ham have hit the post and now had a goal disallowed by VAR for offside. Mavropanos' header ruled out. Matej Fernandez starting to get more influential in this game. Plays it to his right. Mavropanos comes forward, gets it out to the wing, and Jared Bowen looks up, comes back inside on his left foot. Can he get the cross in from here? Plays it round the corner, gets it back again from Pablo, touches it off towards Fernandez, but Yama looks in there quickly in midfield. He comes forward, plays it direct, looks for a run of Iga Thiago. Hermansen is so far out of his goal. He's then collided with his defender. He's still out of his goal. Brentford go round their man. They've got West Ham defenders all up past them, and they've just put it wide. Damsgaard. Hermansen went racing out of his penalty area to head it, collided with the West Ham defender. I think it was Mavropanos he collided with. The ball fell to Damsgaard. Hermansen then chased Damsgaard down as if he's playing the defensive midfield role. Damsgaard went past him comfortably. By that time, there's 5 West Ham defenders back in the box. Damsgaard tries to curl it round all of them, gets the bend, but just puts it wide of the left-hand post and collapses to the floor in disbelief. Terrible car crash goalkeeping by the Danish keeper. But he's got away with it, as have West Ham, and Brentford could have easily been 2-0 up there. This game has really sparked into life in the last 10 minutes, and Brentford still lead West Ham by a goal to nil, but it is all going on here in West London. Hermansen is the most relieved footballer in the Premier League at this exact moment in time. It looks like Van den Berg is down at the moment. No, it's Nathan Collins has gone down with a knock. He's just back to his feet now. It's elsewhere in the Premier League. Newcastle have scored a second against Brighton, and Sunderland have taken the lead away to Wolves. Sekelo with this free kick. Steps up, launches the free kick deep into the West Ham half. Flicked on by Sade on the left-hand side, headed away again by Fernandez. Back forward in the air again by Lewis Potter. Kyle Walker-Peters heads it forward. Now Sade is able to get it down, tries to have a run. Pinched by Bowen. Bowen, quick ball into Castellanos, off to Pablo. Pablo takes the touch, well, works in there by Matthias Jensen. Gets the ball back, but then bundles into Jared Bowen, and that is a free kick to West Ham near the halfway line. 25 minutes gone. Jared Bowen just starting to get into the game a little bit more, so much resting on his shoulders for West Ham. Disasi takes it over the halfway line, plays it in front of Diouf. Diouf not able to get that under control, goes out for a throw-in to Brentford, which Michael Coyote will take. And if that goal does go down as a Konstantinos Mavropanos own goal, he would have had the opportunity to score at both ends had the VAR disallowed goal been allowed to stand. Every chance Mavropanos would have been hero and villain for West Ham within the first 20 minutes or so of the game. Forward come Brentford, well defended by Disasi, helps it across to Somerville. Somerville facing his own goal, turns, tries to go down the left-hand side, nutmegs Coyote brilliantly, races away, and I think it's Damsgaard again who's come barging in from the side. No, it was Yarmouth who comes barging in from the side to stop Somerville in his tracks. It was a wonderful bit of skill to get away from Matara. Then the nutmeg on Coyote. Across the up comes Yarmouth, just sticks his arm across the chest of Somerville, who goes to ground, and a clear free kick for West Ham. And Somerville just inquiring as to why Yarmouth hasn't been booked for that tactical foul, because it was very much a cynical one to stop Somerville getting deeper into the West Ham half. Free kick which Fernandez and Diouf stand over once again. It's much further back than the one that led to the potential equaliser for West Ham. So Brentford holding their line just outside the penalty area this time. This time Fernandez changes the angle, clips it up to the far post, headed back across goal by Mavropanos, and Bowen on the far side tries to keep it alive. He has kept it alive. Ball comes through as pinched by Brentford. And now they quickly look to break down the right-hand sard. Yarmiluk launches it forward for the run of Thiago. Igor Thiago's in on goal here. How's this gone all the way through? And he's just tried to lift it over Hermansen. The Brazilian got to do better there. He found himself racing into the penalty area, went for the delicate little chip up and over Hermansen, who stood his ground and gathered the ball comfortably. No idea how that pass from Yarmiluk got all the way through the West Ham line to find its way to Igor Thiago. And he could have had his 22nd Premier League goal of the season, again, if he'd had a little bit more belief in putting it home. West Ham come forward again. The game has really opened up. It looked like it was going to be quite cagey to begin with, but absolutely end-to-end now. Fernandez heads it down to Kyle Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters comes infield, turns, goes back outside to Bowen. Bowen right on the right-hand touchline, gives it down the line again to Walker-Peters. He tries to cross first time, comes off Nathan Collins, goes up and out for a corner kick to West Ham. Just seeing Igor Thiago. I think Damsgaard just flicks it on, which got it through to Igor Thiago. And it was such a tame finish in the end. It was a wonderful bit of vision by Damsgaard, actually. Just got a little touch with it as it came over his shoulder and flicked it on into the path of Igor Thiago. Brazilian really would have expected to do better than that. Jared Bowen with this corner for West Ham then, surrounding Kelleher in the 6-yard box once again. Near post, flicked on. Oh, it's come off the post this time. West Ham hit the woodwork for the second time in the game. Great ball in by Bowen. A West Ham player flicks it on at the near post, and it's come back off the far post. Could have gone anywhere, rolled across the line and was hacked away by the Brentford defence. And West Ham, how much more have they got to do to find themselves level in this game? Bowen plays it back into Kyle Walker-Peters. He advances towards the penalty area. He's closed down in the end, and Keane Lewis-Potter gets in the way, gets his body between Walker-Peters and the ball. Walker-Peters fouls him, free kick to Brentford. It was Castellanos again who's hit the post twice in this game. Such a good header. In fact, when it came off the post, it's then hit Kelleher on the knee as it was going across the goal line and goes back out into the 6-yard box where it's hacked away. Castellanos is being so unfortunate. Two quality efforts on goal, both hitting each post. Kelleher launches forward. Thiago beaten in the air by Mavropanos. Headed back forwards again. Thiago wins this one. Gets it to Otaro, who's on the left now. Otaro looks to play it in early. Goes all the way across the box. Cleared away by Diouf, only as far as Lewis-Potter. Right-footed, then comes back onto his left. Changes again. Right-footed ball into a good little run coming in here. They're going all the way, Brentford. That's a good bit of tracking by Pablo. Cuts it out. And now Castellanos is able to sprint forward over the halfway line. Coyote comes over to the left to try and slow him down. Castellanos comes back in field. Moves it over to the right-hand side. Fernandez to Pablo. Pablo to out to the right wing. Walker-Peters closed down by Lewis-Potter. Little touch inside to Fernandez, and West Ham slow it down again. To Sassy out to the left, and Diouf. Diouf thought about crossing first time, took a touch, gives it back to Sassy, the French central defender. Over to Mavropanos. Mavropanos assesses it and then gives it back to Sassy. West Ham just inside the Brentford half at the moment. Diouf infield to Fernandez, well kept by Fernandez. Gives it back to the Senegalese fullback. Gets it back again round the corner to Souček. Souček into Somerville. This is good from West Ham. They're keeping the ball moving Brentford around as well. Across to Disasi. Disasi plays into Mavropanos. He has to go back to Hermansen. Hermansen, little touch with his right foot before playing long, playing forward towards Bowen on the right wing, and he just puts it into touch. Hermansen is having a shocker here today. Such a poor way for that spell of possession to end for West Ham. Nuno Santo just standing there, arms folded, not happy with that from his goalkeeper. you know, a former goalkeeper himself, but playing in goal in the years we didn't have to be as adept at your feet as they're being asked to nowadays. Kelleher, a goalkeeper who is exceptional with the ball at his feet, plays it out to Van den Berg, gets it back again before giving it to the Dutch defender once more. West Ham just holding shape, waiting for the right opportunity to press. Ball goes out to Nathan Collins. Pablo goes across to put him under a bit of pressure. Yarmouth hooks it back as he's put under pressure from Castellanos, and Brentford are being patient enough to try and work their way out here. Touched out to Coyote, and that just runs in front of the Italian right back and goes out for a throw-in. So good enough pressure there from West Ham, forces the mistake, gets their opportunity to move forward again from this throw-in. 32.5 minutes gone. Brentford 1, West Ham 0. Space for Ouattara as he comes towards the West Ham penalty area. Souček looks to close him down. Does he clip Ouattara there? He does. It's a free kick right on the edge of the penalty area for Ouattara. That seemed to happen in slow motion. Ouattara just took a little touch to cut back inside of Souček, and he just dangled his left foot out there, the big check, and caught Ouattara's standing leg, and it's a free kick to Brentford. About 25 yards out to the left of the West Ham penalty area as Brentford attack it. Paulson making it clear they've got to wait for the whistle. Jensen's placed the ball down. Damsgaard is there as well. Last thing Hermansson really wants with how his game has gone in the first half is a free kick whistling towards him from a nice range to strike one. Coyotes there, Lewis Potter's there. Everyone wants to be a part of this Brentford free kick. Jensen's now taking himself out of the options. He's moved away. King Lewis Potter's the one placing the ball on the floor, standing on it right-footed. Dango Ouattara is also there. Maybe he'll be looking at this with the left-footed perspective as he's standing to the right of the ball. Damsgaard is still hanging around. He now moves away. He's heading towards the West Ham wall, which Paulson has marked the magic spray down in front of them, so they know how far away they have to be. They're looking to edge that a little bit, though. There's a West Ham player on the deck. Always fascinates me which player gets that dreaded job of being the draft excluder. It's Somerville who's lying on the floor with his back to it. Free kick for Brentford. Ouattara or Lewis Potter. It's Lewis Potter straight into the wall. Comes back to Ouattara. Flicks it back in left-footed. Hermansson claims it in his 6-yard box. Moves towards the edge of his penalty area. Not the best free kick in the end from Keane Lewis Potter. And Ouattara's ball back in wasn't of the highest quality either. Disasi has it to the left of the West Ham penalty area. Left-footed plays it forward. Asks Castellanos to try and get across Van den Berg, but Van den Berg is there easily enough. Plays forward, goes out for throw-in through West Ham, midway inside their own half. As we said earlier, if this stays the same, Brentford will find themselves up in 6th place at the end of this game, with Brighton currently losing to Newcastle at St James's Park. Somerville has it in the middle, gets it out to the right. Now Jared Bowen comes towards goal, goes on his left foot, places it straight into the arms of Kelleher. Not the most confident of finishes this time from Jared Bowen. It was a nice ball from Somerville, got Bowen into a good position. He took a little touch to set himself on his left, was going for placement more than power, but he placed it right into the midriff of Kelleher, who just collapsed to the floor and took it into his midriff very comfortably. Half a chance, I would say that, for West Ham, but they are certainly not out of this game, and they're playing with the confidence their recent form would suggest. This is a good free kick routine here from Brentford, though. Thiago sets it back, chip to the far post, and there's a good save by Hermansson. I think it was Nathan Collins who came round the back and got the header at goal. He was really close to the frame of the West Ham goal. Hermansson just threw himself at the feet of Collins, made the save, and that'll make him feel a little bit better about his afternoon. Beautifully constructed by Brentford. And Summer Hermansson, that's actually a really good save because it's been headed down. It was Keane Lewis Potter, in fact, who got round the back, headed it down, and Hermansson somehow just stuck an arm out and made a really good save. I think the offside flag has gone up after all of that, so it wouldn't have counted, but I really like that Brentford set-piece routine. It was a free kick that a lot of teams would have just thrown forward, but they worked it cleverly, clearly choreographed, and it led to Lewis Potter getting a free header at the far post and forces a save from Manson. Somerville has the ball in the centre circle for West Ham. A lot of traffic around him. He wants to find spaces where he can influence the game in a little bit more space. Gives it back to Disassi. Disassi takes a couple of touches, assesses his options and just gives it to his right to Mavropanos. Mavropanos, of course, having a goal disallowed earlier. Carl Walker-Peters playing it round the corner, goes past Lewis Potter. But that goes out now for a throw-in to West Ham on the far side. The monitor just still trying to decide whether it was Mavropanos who poked home the opening goal was an own goal, whether Michael Coyote did get the touch, and it's still pretty inconclusive, I would say. Good luck to whoever's sorting that one out. We've got a battle of double-barrelled surnames on the right-hand side and left-hand side of West Ham and Brentford respectively, and I don't know the last time I commentated to have that situation. Fernandez plays it back to Disassi, gets the ball again. Fernandez at the heart of a lot of the good stuff that West Ham were doing so far in this first half. 7 minutes in this first half, past injury time remaining, and there will be a fair bit due to the VAR decision. I think Fernandez plays it over to the right-hand side, and Mavropanos takes it under control. Deep inside the Brentford half now, back to Disassi. Diouf gets it. Diouf thinks about putting a cross in, does send the cross in. Played away comfortably enough by Van der Berg. It just goes up into the air, and in came Souček to win the header behind Yarmiluk, but did nothing of use with the header at all, just headed it forward and goes out for a goal kick to Brentford. Thomas Souček got some vital goals again for West Ham this season, 5 goals in the Premier League for the 31-year-old. Doesn't offer a great deal more than his prowess in both box, has to be said nowadays. He doesn't get too involved in the build-up for West Ham. He's more of an old-fashioned, late-arriving central midfielder, and with Pablo, the Portuguese, not being the most creative attacking midfielder type either, it does leave West Ham a little bit short of creativity coming through the middle of the park. A lot falls on the shoulders of Mateus Fernandez to dictate things here. 5 shots on goal each here for Brentford and West Ham. 2 shots on target each for West Ham. I'm presuming that doesn't include the disallowed goal. And of course, as we know, a shot on target is not a shot on target if it hits the woodwork. So a little bit more difficult to fully assess. It's a throw-in for Coyote again in that deep left-hand position that he caused problems from much earlier in the half. So it's in line with the 6-yard box once again. Steps up, launches the missile. Hermansen doesn't get anywhere near it again. Van der Berg won the header and he's just flicked it wide of the post. Hermansen thought about coming, changed his mind, went back to his 6-yard line, but he was getting nowhere near that had Van der Berg got it on target. Won the header really well, out-jumping Souček, flicked it just wide of the goal. Keith Andrews with his hands on his head in the technical dugout for Brentford, and Van der Berg was so close to scoring his first Premier League goal of the season, but not to be. 4.5 minutes plus injury time here at the end of this game. This first half, I should say. No, it's still got a second half to come here at the G-Tech, so make sure you will be joining us for the second half, because this does seem to have a lot going on it. This very entertaining Premier League clash. West Ham, of course, deep in a relegation battle. Brentford dreaming of Europe. And it's Brentford who have the upper hand at the moment. They lead by a goal to nil. And Igor Thiago's had a good chance to make it 2, but was unable to beat Hermansen. Hermansen almost helped Brentford make it 2 himself by going for an absolute wander outside his penalty area and leaving the goal completely unguarded as Damsgaard curled it wide. West Ham, of course, have hit the woodwork twice and had a goal disallowed by VAR. Pinched in the midfield again by Mateus Fernandez. Nice little body turn as well. Good low centre of gravity from Fernandez. Gets away from 2 Brentford players with a lovely bit of play. Somerville helps it on to Castellanos, gets it back again. Has a shot himself, Somerville just up and over the crossbar of Kelleher. Nice play, Crencio, Somerville. All starting with Fernandez spinning around in the midfield, getting past two, touched it to Somerville, who just played it into Pablo, got it back again, took a couple of touches forward and struck just up and over the crossbar of Kelleher. West Ham knocking on the door once again and have absolute belief they can still get themselves into half-time level. They still trail by that goal to nil. Nathan Collins out to the left-hand side. Wide left now to Keane. Lewis Potter. Collins gets it back again. Plays infield to Damsgaard. Damsgaard takes a touch, gives it back to Van den Berg, the deepest of the Brentford defenders. Out wide again to Keane. Lewis Potter brings it down nicely, slowed down by Kyle Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters gets in the way, ball breaks to Bowen. Bowen into Fernandez. Fernandez gets held up in midfield. Souček touches it back to Disasi. He plays back to Hermansen. Hermansen, not the most confident of touches, but does get it then out right to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters into Fernandez. They come forward again, West Ham. They're near the halfway line now. Walker-Peters into Pablo. Pablo turns, faces the Brentford defence, and then switches it out to the left-hand side, where Diouf's now got time to try and move infield. He does so. He's on his right foot. He tries a shot on goal straight at Kelleher as well. Diouf would have expected him to go wide and cross from there, but I think that's what Coyote was expecting too. He came inside the fullback, tried to curl one on his weaker right foot, but just found the chest of the Irish goalkeeper. And he's been fairly busy in this half, Kelleher, but he's been pretty much equal to what he's been asked to do so far when given the opportunity to do so. He had no chance for the Mavropanos header that flew past him and was disallowed, and equally no chance really with the two shots that have come back off his woodwork. Brentford's goal is leading a somewhat charmed life, but in there they've got a goalkeeper who's looking for his 11th Premier League clean sheet of the season. Free kick to West Ham, just near their own penalty area. Diouf takes and knocks it back to Disasi. Disasi plays forward, left-footed, nice touch off by Castellanos, gets it back again from Fernandez in midfield. Pablo tries to help it left to Somerville. Somerville bumps into Yarmuluk, and that's a throw into West Ham. Just waiting to see how much injury time is being given here at the end of this first half. Diouf on the ball on the halfway line. Goes back into his own half and gives it to Disasi. Quickly over to the Greek defender Mavropanos. Plays it round the corner to Souček. Souček curls one out to the far hand side of Bowen. Bowen brings it down brilliantly, but Lewis Potter times his challenge well, pinches it off West Ham's captain and plays it back to Kelleher. Kelleher plays forward, one in the air by Disasi, out jumping Igor Thiago. Van den Berg punches it forward once again. Mavropanos heads it down to Souček, who helps it round the corner to Castellanos. Castellanos shoots and forces a good save from Kelleher. No backlift at all from Tati Castellanos. Took one touch to set himself and then just arrowed the shot towards Kelleher's goal. And the Irishman was alert to it, tipped it up and over the crossbar. Just waiting to see if the offside flag did go up as well. But that's a wonderful save from Kelleher, because that was dipping viciously. Fantastic strike from Castellanos, who, as I said, took no backlift at all. Almost just did that from a standing position. No offside, so it is a corner for West Ham. Maybe the last opportunity for them to do something. 3 minutes of injury time has been added on. In it comes from Somerville, headed away by Brentford, and Diouf's racing back to the halfway line to get it under control again. Plays it to Kyle Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters shifts it right to Mavropanos, touches it back to the right back who's playing in the middle at the moment. Souček keeps possession. Mavropanos switches it out to the left. Somerville's going to get this down, is he? Yes, he is. Just about keeps it in. Starts to run at Coyote. Comes inside on his right foot. Tries to curl one in. Deflects up off Igor Thiago, who's still in a defensive position. And West Ham will get another corner. About 90 seconds left in this first half. Somerville, again, goes out to this near-hand side. The left-hand side of West Ham's attack, and he's going to curl this corner in right-footed. Mavropanos and Souček loitering at the far post. Castellanos in there as well, as is Disasi. In it comes from Somerville, curled to the far post area. Mavropanos tries to get up, headed up in the air, headed away by Brentford. Touchdown to Diouf, he's having to retreat once again. Quickly moves it out left again to Somerville, who's got himself back onside. He crosses once more, up in the air off the Brentford head. Souček round the back, he's headed it off the back of a Brentford defender, and it's another corner. Will they have time to set this one up? West Ham, I think they will do. Jared Bowen's hurrying out to the far side. He's going to take this corner kick left-footed, swing it into the Brentford box once again. And this will be surely West Ham's last chance to go in level at the break. Jared Bowen steps up, clips it into the middle, and headed wide by Castellanos. That was probably the more easy of the headers he had, because the man marking him, Schade, just fell to the floor and Castellanos heads wide. Shakes his head in disbelief. I think he realises that was the easiest of the chances he has had in the air in this first half, and West Ham shouldn't just be level, they should be leading Brentford here. They've played well enough, and Brentford haven't defended brilliantly by any stretch of the imagination. Goal kick is launched forward, and Craig Pawson calls time on this first half. So Brentford lead West Ham by a goal to nil. It's gone down as a Konstantinos Mavropanos own goal. Michael Coyote might have something to say about that. That was scored in the 15th minute. 7 minutes later, Mavropanos got the ball in the back of the net at the other end, but his header was disallowed for offside. And West Ham, as I've said, hit the post a couple of times. Tati Castellanos hitting the woodwork, each post. And Igor Thiago also had a good opportunity to double Brentford's lead. So it is at half-time. Brentford 1, West Ham 0. This result will move Brentford nearer the European spots, and this result will give Tottenham hope that they can put the pressure on West Ham tomorrow. But still, there's a great opportunity for West Ham in the second half to get themselves back in this game. Join us in about 15 minutes or so, where we'll bring you live second half coverage of Brentford and West Ham. so often available, the Ukrainian intelligent midfielder, gives it to Coyote. Dango tries to flick it past Diouf, but that comes off. Diouf's left foot goes out for a throw-in on the right-hand side. Utara steps away, leaves it to Coyote. Jordan Henderson in the stands here today and not in the team at the moment for injury reasons. There'll probably be enough to mean that he won't make England's World Cup squad this summer. Manson rolls the ball out to the left and Disasi plays upfield. Thiago just leans across the central defender and sends him to the floor. Referee's played on. And it's a throw in to Brentford. Looks for his options, just rolls it down the line to Utara, gets it back again. Oh, heavy touch that time by Cody, but he's done well. He's worked out well there. He's found eager Thiago. Ball's bouncing around on the edge of the penalty area for Brentford. Now it goes out to Utara to the right of the area. Touches it back inside to Yarmuluk once again. He helps it across to Coyote. Jensen gives him an angle, gets it back again. Then Jensen flicks it back into Coyote in the penalty area. He goes tumbling down underneath the challenge from Souček, and yeah, quite rightly gets the yellow card for that attempt at conning the referee. That was a horrendous dive by Michael Coyote. Jensen just lifted it up into the area. Coyote took it on his knee, was going away from goal. Minimal contact with Souček. Threw himself to the floor. In fact, he almost went to the floor so early that he missed Souček completely, and that was the worst dive I have seen this season on all the games I've commentated on in the 2025-2026 campaign across Europe and into Africa as well. That was the worst dive. Now, Adama Traore is on, and it is Diouf who has gone off, so there's going to be a change of shape here for West Ham, and they've got to go for it. Of course they have. They're 2-0 down to Brentford, and I'll quickly check the league table at the bottom. As it stands, West Ham have a goal difference of -18. Tottenham have a goal difference of -10. So it's not going to be goal difference. I think that is going to be a major factor in the sense of West Ham may as well go for it, and if they concede a third, so be it. There's a bigger upside to pushing and trying to get something out of this game rather than worrying about whether it might end up 3 or 4. So we can see why Nuno has opted to throw another man on. But Brentford are coming forward down the right-hand side again with Damsgaard. Sends it back to Utara. Utara swings it into the box, headed away by Disasi. Matis Fernandez picks it up. Traore is out on this right-hand side. He gets the ball, he's looking to run forward, gives it back to Fernandez, continues his run forward, does Traore, now has to come short to get it, gets it back from Fernandez, trying to work out where Jared Bowen now fits into this shape. He seems to be playing a lot more central, just off the front two of Pablo and Wilson. In comes the cross, headed away by Brentford, and Igor Thiago goes across. Mavropanos just wins that one, touches it down again to Disasi. Disasi, Mavropanos and Wan-Bissaka as the back three. Adama Traore now playing as a right wing back. Somerville as a left wing back, and he'll try and keep himself up as high up the field as possible. In the cross comes from West Ham, hooked away, falls to the edge of the box. Fernandez can't do much with it. Wilson holds it up, flicks it over to the left of the area again. Now Somerville. Somerville goes forward, crosses towards Callum Wilson, that goes out for a goal kick to West Ham. Goal kick to Brentford. So West Ham are going to try and push, and they're going to have to be brave, which is why they've gone to the back three and two very attacking players in wing-back positions, and Bowen playing behind Wilson and Pablo now. So pushing players forward where they can, West Ham. 15 minutes or so, plus whatever stoppage time on top of that. Headed forward, one in the air by Souček. Igor Thiago gets it down. That's a poor layout by Igor Thiago. Mavropanos comes forward, gets the touch, plays it over to Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen to Somerville. Somerville comes in field, Onto his right foot, goes past another one, towards the edge of the penalty area, shoots. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. It comes down to Pablo, falls to Souček who drives one. That's just wide as well. How unfortunate again for West Ham. Somerville with amazing little dribble, drifted his way to the edge of the penalty area, waited for the right opportunity to get the shot away, came inside, curled it top corner. Kelleher pulled his arm away, he just knew he wasn't getting there, hit the bar. Souček has then followed up with a cracking effort, and it's just curled wide of Kelleher, who was back up on his feet to be able to dive again, but I think he knew the Souček shot was going to go wide. West Ham have hit the woodwork 3 times in this game, and they've had a goal disallowed by VAR. Incredible bad luck for the Hammers today in this London derby. And I've got to tell you what, are they looking? I hope VAR's looking at that one. So as the ball came out again, Pablo tried to go for it. Yarmoliuk slipped, has gone through, and they're playing on. Okay, he went through Pablo, and West Ham got a shout for a penalty there as well. So not a lot going the way of Nuno Espirito Santo's team. Here comes Callum Wilson through the middle, but Callum's quickly off his line to gather up at the edge of his box. Quickly bowls it out to Coyote. Coyote plays into Damsgaard. Damsgaard touches it off to Matthias Jensen. Matthias Jensen turns back, gives it to Collins. Collins plays slightly lazy ball out to the right hand side. Yarmoliuk does well to retrieve it. He gets it down the line to Atara. Atara, with his back facing the West Ham goal, plays it into Damsgaard, who's found a nice pocket of space. He tries to get it down the right hand side again to Atara, but Disasi steps across and deals with that, gets it to some Somerville on Mavropanos. Mavropanos in the centre of the 3 at the back, gives it to Wan-Bissaka, and he quickly gives it to Adama Traore. Adama Traore, work again by Brentford, and Lewis Potter comes away with the ball, gives it away to Pablo though. Matis Fernandez, space again for Somerville on the left hand side. Somerville comes infield, tries to thread it through to Jared Bowen, but it was just in front of West Ham's captain, and he was unable to gather the ball in. If he'd been able to, he could have been one touch then shoot, but that ball just got away from West Ham's talisman. Brentford move the ball through their midfield once again, but that's well won in there by Jared Bowen. No